This is the Celebrity Afterlife Report podcast.
Hello! We are back, and when I say we, I mean me, of course, for another installment of the Celebrity Afterlife Report, the only show on the internet that gives you the most up-to-the-minute gossip about all your favorite deceased celebrities. This, by the way, will be the last Celebrity Afterlife Report for 2015, as we, and again I mean me, are taking the next 2 weeks off for the end of the year holidays. I hope this one will be enough to tide you over till January. How about we all find out together? Well, seems that the rumors are true. Abraham Lincoln and his next world wife, Whitney Houston, are off their reality show, The Crazy Life of Abe and Whitney, at least for the time being. The couple threatened to walk off after the producers of the show allegedly got new cast member, former President Richard Nixon, to provoke Mr. Lincoln at the Thanksgiving dinner table. The show that resulted from that altercation was the highest-rated episode of the program to date. Despite that, Lincoln and Houston have kept their word and are refusing to come to work on the show. One of my most trusted sources tells me that the producers had plans for an even more provocative Christmas episode, reportedly involving Mr. Nixon proposing to Bobbi Christina, Whitney's daughter. There's a rumor making the rounds in Afterlife showbiz circles that the producers may go ahead with the episode, minus Lincoln and Houston's participation. Word is that Bobbi Christina is enjoying her Afterlife celebrity status and is okay with going along with the producers' plans. Mr. Nixon is also said to be having a lot of fun during the show, no longer having to worry about his public image as a high-profile politician. For their parts, Abe and Whitney are maintaining radio silence about the matter. And they have been seen on a ski slope recently, apparently enjoying some alone time. So the big question in all this is, what happens if Bobbi Christina goes into business for herself and continues to be on the show without her mother and stepfather? Just my opinion, but it looks as if that can't possibly result in anything but a huge rift in her relationship with them. As I reported months ago, J. Edgar Hoover, the longtime director of the FBI, is now living as Edith Tolson, wife of her right-hand man at the Bureau, Clyde Tolson. Edith had gender reassignment surgery some time back after revealing publicly that she was transgender. By all accounts, while Ms. Tolson is a lovely woman now that she has resigned her conflicted feelings about herself, she's not what one would call a beautiful woman. Imagine the surprise she must have felt, therefore, when she was contacted recently to be the cover girl for the Christmas issue of Afterlife Today magazine. According to sources, the former G-Man said she was excited to be asked to do something she had fantasized about her whole life on the earthly plane. I always dreamed about wearing a beautiful outfit and a fashion layout like the movie stars I saw when I was growing up, but I was absolutely sure something like that could never happen, she was quoted as saying in a newspaper article. As if to prove that dreams can come true, Edith was photographed in a lovely red dress with makeup done by Max Factor himself. In the photo, she is portrayed as Mrs. Claus, while her husband plays Kris Kringle himself. A source tells me she looks radiant in that photo, a far cry from the scowling homophobic lawman she once was. The war between Yankee great turned radio shock jock Babe Ruth and TV talk show host Merv Griffin is heating up. Ruth declared jihad against Griffin after Merv had Osama binLaden on his show as a guest, which Babe claimed was offensive. Despite Merv's protestations that he only wants to have the most newsworthy people on his show, Ruth told his Bambinos, as he calls his fans, to do whatever they can to sabotage Griffin's show, which he hosts with his now fiancée, Tammy Faye Baker. Since then, Bambinos have been going to the show's tapings as audience members and disrupting them with stink bombs and heckling. According to my sources, Griffin and Baker are throwing in the towel and have announced that until things cool down, the show will be done without a live audience or with audiences made up of invited guests only. That has not placated Ruth, however. He and his Bambinos have been showing up outside the show's studio, picketing and shouting loud enough to be heard on the audio of the show taping inside the building. This story is getting really ugly, and we will be keeping a close eye on it. Lastly, before I take my 2-week holiday break, a lighter story. Regular listeners to the report know the story of the Lassie Squad, the train wreck of a movie that was supposed to be an action-adventure about an all-canine group of cops. Film critic Roger Ebert said it was the worst movie he's seen since he transitioned to the next world, even though midway through production it was turned into a comedy co-starring some of the greatest film funny men of all time. In an apparent attempt to get his Lassie franchise back on track, collie trainer Rudd Weatherwax has decided to spread some holiday cheer with his 4-legged former money machine. Through Christmas Eve, Lassie will be spending time in one of the Afterlife's largest malls, sitting on a throne as Santa Paws. She'll be listening to children's requests 8 hours a day, 7 days a week. Word is that no fewer than 3 collies will be sharing the role of Lassie to prevent any of them from becoming exhausted. And on that festive note, I will wrap up this edition of the report, the last one for 2015. I will return just after the new year with more up-to-the-minute gossip about all your favorite deceased celebrities. Between now and then, if you get the chance, please tell your friends and family that the report is available for free on iTunes. I am the Celebrity Medium, wishing you and your loved ones happy holidays. And as always, I thank you for listening.
You've been listening to the Celebrity Afterlife Report podcast. To ask a question about your favorite deceased celebrity, call 818-3-MY-DREAM. 818-3-MY-DREAM. 818-369-3732.